Good morning.
Good morning.
With that introduction, I wasn't sure who she was bringing up. Well, this being the last Sunday of February, it's the last week of the themes for the month, which are risk, change, and embracing the new. And so I thought, as a good test for us, that we should be able to use it in a sentence, use all those themes in a sentence. And that's kind of how I want to structure what I'm going to say. So the risks I take lead to the changes I want to make and allow me to embrace the new.
I like that.
Wow.
And
Good for you. All right.
Awesome. Thanks. I like when I give a spiritual thought to, I think, basically follow the guidelines of integrating some of the things that we're talking about here with some personal application. And this week has been a really heavy week with Stephen's passing, and I just thought, I just want to keep this light. So I wanted to talk about kind of my journey with the Native American flute, and my wish to bring more of that music into my life and to play more of that music. I remember, first of all, here the risk portion of this. The risk portion that several years ago, my wife Joyce bought me a Native American flute. I played saxophone in high school, and she got me a Native American flute. I played around with it, but it mostly stayed up on my shelf, and it was pretty. It looked good up there, but I wasn't playing it until I heard Stephen DeRuby playing here, and I was thinking that was probably 2001 or 2002 that I heard him for the first time, and really liked it. And just the full woody notes and the hearty man playing it. So I took up more interest in it, and then Rick and Linda and Stephen started a Flute Circle, and that was a gathering each week where a number of people, including Daniel and Valerie and David, who I don't see, came, and Kim was there, and others, and Rick and Linda and Stephen, and we learned, it was kind of a group flute lesson, and we learned how to cover the holes and make pleasing tones and played for one another. But the risk aspect of that was really scary for me, playing in front of others. And I don't know if performance anxiety or issues of needing to be perfect and not putting out things that were kind of half-baked. But I persevered, and others in the group did as well, and had a little some changes over time where I actually started to feel a little more competent with it, and it started to sound good for me. It was a risk that I wanted to take, and it actually was working. So the changes that it led to were a change in being a little more competent with it. I put in the flyer you may have seen that Kim and I consider ourselves to be intermediate flute players. That felt a little bit like a stretch, but still, we're not beginners. And so that felt good. And the theme that I sort of learned through the process of this was that I wanted to make it playing. I did not want to drill or practice or put any pressure on myself to kind of get better. I wanted it to be fun. It's off list. It is simply a pleasurable activity. I have no ambitions about any of it. But keeping it playful is what I wanted to do. And a good example of that was Bill Keel, our very own Bill Keel. Had bought a flute, came to the Flute Circle. He was in his late 80s, maybe 90 by then. And he would play along and then squeak or make a noise or do something that was something we were trying to get away from, and he would start to giggle, and he'd giggle a little bit. We'd all kind of giggle, and then he'd get back to it, and it was just such a model for learning something new and having fun with this, that to really forgive ourselves and to take ourselves lightly and just observe and enjoy the process of learning something new that's really about fun and pleasing tones and things like that. So just want to say that this risk and change and embracing the new is not just simply a psychological process. It's really a consciousness development process also, where you're learning to trust myself, learning to allow myself the flexibility to be less than perfect, and to just have fun learning things. Those are nice skills and kind of internal responses to the stress of new things or risky things. So though that has really led to embracing the new, and kind of the bottom line of it is I feel better about my playing. So what's new is I like playing and playing in front of others. It's still anxiety producing and feels a little risky, but much more comfortable with it and like it more. So that piece is sound in this embracing the new. Some of the other miscellaneous things, though, that kind of surprised me is that by attending to or paying attention to flute playing and how it works with other instruments and things like that, my appreciation of music in general has really grown. I'm appreciating the many talented musicians we have here, and appreciating how different instruments sound together, different melodies, different rhythms, I think more so than ever before. So by getting deeper into music with this very simple instrument, my appreciation of music has really grown as well. Another part of embracing the new that really caught me by surprise a couple nights ago was I had the opportunity to play along with our very own Joe Nelson just on a couple songs, and I was really I was pleased with the way things sounded here and there. It sounded like we actually were playing in the same key and had the same rhythm, and it was really fun. But I noticed while I was doing that I wasn't holding the notes the way that I usually do or as long as I do. I was kind of running out of breath. And I heard Stephen's voice in my head reminding me to breathe. And it's something that he said to me probably a dozen times in my opportunities to play with him. So not only, I knew I had this gentle, loving, talented man in my heart, but I also have him in my head as a kind of personal flute mentor, and I'm really appreciative of that. So finally, in the Embracing the New, a little self-promotion here, that Kim and I have talked for a while, actually, about taking our enthusiasm for flute and interest in it and offering a class here. So through our very own PLC Learning Center, thank you Susan and Tim and Sandy, we're going to offer a 6-week or a 6-session flute class on Thursdays, 4 to 5:30, and it'll be right here with a focus for beginners and intermediate, and we'll just have some fun with that and work on getting pleasing tones, and at some point some other people will help us learn to play along with some strumming, and Jeff is going to come one time with his bowls and his drums, and we'll play along with that. But it's described in the PLC Learning Center newsletter, and there's still time to sign up. All right, thank you.